it is arguing for arguing's sake. Like sometimes it's not even about.
He took a Quran and he rolled it up into an L, and that's when the guy told him that.
Ruslan.
Hey, shout out to our Patreon community. Shout out to Gabriel. He asked a really good question. He said, "What do you think about online Christian apologetics community? The online Christian apologetics community." Now he names a lot of people here. Okay, so this is interesting. He names Sam Shamoon,
Okay.
Apostate Prophet, David Wood, God Logic. Do you think their approach to online debates does more harm than good? Is the current climate of online apologists a net negative or a net positive? It seems to devolve into name-calling and insults, full of gotchas and arguing for arguing's sake. Okay, so this is a great question.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a great question. First of all, you named very, very different people.
Oh yeah.
Everyone here is very different.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Sam Shamoon, Apostate Prophet, who I don't think is a Christian yet. I think he's flirting with orthodoxy. I think his wife recently became a Christian. I think he's still an atheist. David Wood, who's a psychopath.
Like you're not being mean.
I'm not being mean. Like he's an actual psychopath,
Yeah.
right? And God Logic Apologetics. Now I've had conversations. I've had conversations with all these people in different ways, and I like all of them for different reasons.
Yeah.
Right? I like all of them for different reasons. And I don't know if I keep up with all of them in the minutia of what they got going on. Now, in terms of what I'm doing, we are having God Logic and David Wood at our conference. Blessed God Summit, March 27th, 28th, 29th. You should be there in person, right? We are having virtual tickets as well over at blessedgod.shop. If you want to go here, you can buy a virtual ticket by clicking virtual ticket. It'll take you here. If you want some of the cool swag and merch that's exclusive to the event, like this hoodie I'm wearing,
These are
you can
all
get that.
virtual ticket bundles.
Virtual ticket bundles. Cool. Well, first of all, I don't think you should be debating over the internet anyway.
Okay.
Like, I just think that's a bad, that's for me, not wise.
Yeah.
For me, not wise. I just watched God Logic's conversation with an imam that he did in person. Sometimes much different than when he's in a Discord stream with 4 other Muslims.
You're saying God Logic can get a little unhinged in a Discord stream?
Everybody can get unhinged.
Yeah, that's true. You
It's
can,
not-
you can get unhinged.
I can get
yeah.
unhinged. So it's not that it's God Logic can get unhinged. It's just that there's something different when these conversations happen in person. And I like seeing videos of people having the conversations in person. Do I think that what he's doing is a net negative? No. I think God Logic, I think David Wood are a net positive.
Yes.
I don't endorse Sam Shamoon name calling, right? I think Sam Shamoon is working through issues and all that sort of stuff. So I don't endorse that. I don't think it's helpful.
He's a promoter, you know?
What do you mean?
The UFC struggled to gain traction until Conor McGregor figured out you gotta be a WWE character. Christian Apologetics, no one's watching a 4 Zoom recording until Sam Shamoon started dunking on fools.
Your mother's a
David Wood started doing...
Your mother slept with the devil.
David Wood started doing Muslim skits, and you know, there's a little bit of that entertainment value that brings to it. And I will say the apologetics community attracts debaters.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've always said about debates is like there is an art to debating, and it is arguing for arguing's sake. Like sometimes it's not even about debating a side because you truly believe it.
Yeah.
I'm saying these guys definitely truly believe it, but there's in debate in general, usually, especially in a debate class, it's like, hey, this is your position. Now you have to defend it.
Yep.
And people are like, I will sit here and defend it for the art of debate, you know? And so when you attract people that love to debate, they love apologetics, you're going to get endless conversation and arguing.
Yeah. And I like it. I like it. I enjoy it. Like I've watched all their debates. I would say if I had to rate them, I think David Wood as a YouTuber is very good.
Yeah.
In terms of his polemics work, it's very sharp and he's very smart. I think in terms of debating, I would say God Logic is probably my favorite debater.
Okay.
And then Apostate Prophet. I think in terms of knowledge of scripture and recall and being able to just pull information out really quick on the spot, I don't think anyone does that better than Sam Shamoon. I don't...
had a little something positive to say for every single one of those guys.
But I don't endorse or think like name calling is appropriate. I don't think telling somebody their mother's a whore is good. You know, I would never do that. I wouldn't
unless your mother is a whore and you're trying to take marriage advice from your mother.
Unless she was technically
if she was technically a whore, you're getting dating advice from her, then
And-
you need to be known
Yeah.
that your mother's.
Yeah, and you're
But
telling someone
outside-
hey, don't listen to your mother's dating advice. She's a whore.
Outside of that, I think we all agree. She probably shouldn't call your mother a whore.
unless you're technically true.
Yeah.
So, I think all these dudes are helpful within certain contexts, and I don't think that it does more harm than good. And I'm saying that with the caveat that I don't know enough and I haven't watched everything to give you guys a fair, like, oh yeah, everything they do is generally in a positive. I haven't watched enough. Like, I think Apostate Prophet, when he debates Muslims, is really interesting, you know? And I think that he seems to be willing to really put himself out there in dangerous situations. And I think that's commendable. I wouldn't do it,
Yeah, not worth it.
right? I don't think it's worth it. I don't think like making origami with, am I using the right word? Origami? Like folding papers with the Quran?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't
Is that
dress
what
up.
he did?
Mhm. Yeah. He took a Quran and he rolled it up into an L, and that's when the guy told him that your blood is halal, and he did that motion to him. Yeah. And he kept getting mad because he kept making origami. Like I wouldn't do that. Like I don't think that's wise. Like
Is he on this side of the pond?
I don't know. I don't know where any of these guys are. I wouldn't dress up as like Muhammad and his like homies and like do whole skits about it. You know,
That was a good era, though.
it was a good era. It's funny. You know, Muhammad's Boom Boom Room or whatever they call it.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's wild stuff. I wouldn't do that. But then my framework again is much more like I got a family and I don't really want to smoke with the jihadis like that.
Yeah.
Like I'll stand on business when it comes up, and I'm going to tell you the truth on what I think about Islam, but I'm not going to go out of my way to
Yeah, buy a Quran and then do origami,
origami on it, you know,
It's a
and then
lot of
like
work.
and then like poke. I wouldn't do that sort of stuff. But again, David Wood, that dude's built different.
Yeah.
Like he's just built different, you know. The dude doesn't care. He's willing to lay it all down. I think Apostate Prophet has that same mindset, and so I haven't heard a ton of name calling from. I haven't heard name calling from Wood. I haven't heard name calling from Avery. I haven't heard name calling from Apostate Prophet. Not to say that they haven't done that. I haven't heard it.
Okay.
So, do I think that is a net positive? I think what David Wood and these guys generally do is a net positive. I'm okay with saying that, which is why I have David Wood and God Logic coming to my conference. So, if you guys, but they're not coming there to talk about Islam. We're not doing a conversation about Islam, right? That isn't the point. That's not why they're there. They're there for very specific purposes. You know, like God Logic is a single dude. I actually want him speaking about like what's it like being single and he's about to get married. I think he has a lot of insight of that. Like young guy, good looking, single, dating, about to get married. Like I think there's a lot more utility and wisdom that we can glean from those guys. I think David is extremely smart and astute to being a great YouTuber, you know, and like how to be a Christian YouTuber, how to build and
Multiple
be generous.
channels,
Multiple channels.
Shut down his channel, started a new one.
Started, I think, 2 or 3 new ones, and he's crushing it, you know? And the friend that he is to Apostate Prophet, who's an atheist. Like, I think there's so much value that we can extract from those dudes that, like, I'm not necessarily going to have them at the summit to dunk on Islam, you know? I think there's enough of that out there, and I think there's a time and a place for that. And I'm not even always mad at it when it happens. That's just not really my lane, you know? I think we could build better culture, and that be the thing that attracts people to Jesus.
Yep.
But I do think there needs to be polemics, and I do think there needs to be foolishness exposed. And there's a lot of foolishness that they expose, and I'm for it. So generally speaking, I'm not trying to dance around the question. I think generally, I would say online apologetics, great resource. Online debating, I would be a bit more agnostic on that. I would say it would depend on the debate. And that's me included. I don't know of many online interactions I had that I was proud of after having them. And I was like, oh, I think I did great in my conversation with Dan McClellan, you know, in terms of just honoring him. But like in person, though, I think there's way more value in these conversations in person, which is why I love modern day debates and what he does in terms of getting people in person. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.